Walker also seemed to suggest building a border wall with Canada, maybe right here in New Hampshire. And Jeb Bush referred to American children using a vile and disgusting term. We are going to have a debate again right here in New Hampshire in December. I'm ready to debate with you. Just the other day, at a campaign event in Rochester, Trump was at it again. One of his supporters in the audience called President Obama a Muslim. My friends, what's more important, drawing a contrast with Republicans or arguing about debates? Let's focus on our mission and the task at hand. Enough is enough.
What we are dealing with right now is a ruling class in this country who in many ways act like alcoholics and drug addicts. They cannot get enough, no matter how many children live in poverty, no matter how high the unemployment numbers are. They want more and more and more. And I say, enough is enough. Here's the simple truth, that in America we have millions and millions of working people who are working hard but are not making enough money to put bread on the table or to take care of their kids, and that has got to end. In my view, it is time that the United States of America join the rest of the industrialized world and guaranteed health care to all people as a right, not a privilege. The American people are angry. And what the American people are angry about is they understand that they did not cause this recession. This recession was caused by the greed, the recklessness, and the illegal behavior of the people on Wall Street. They could write a check out for $50 million or $100 million and it would not matter at all. And I want people to take a deep breath and think about whether or not that is what we believe American democracy is supposed to be.
And we know now that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The fact of the matter is that what we are now talking about doing, most of the countries of Europe did years ago. We are behind every country pretty nearly in Europe in this matter of medical care for our citizens. And then those who say that this should be left to private effort.
It's all over this country. You got a lot of bright, decent, good people. And they're saying, you know what? The situation is hopeless. You can't beat the Koch brothers. You can't beat the billionaires. You can't win. I'm giving up. That is exactly what they want us to believe. And I beg of you, do not enter that world of despair.
We're following a very surprising controversy that has sprung up just ahead of tomorrow night's Democratic presidential debate here at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, a vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, says she was disinvited from this debate after calling for more debates among the Democratic candidates. Congresswoman Gabbard is joining us now live from Honolulu. Congresswoman, thanks very much for joining us. What happened? Because you were supposed to be here as a leader of the DNC, and all of a sudden you're still in Hawaii.
Thanks, Wolf. Aloha. It's good to talk with you and your viewers today. As you know, I've been pretty vocal about calling out for more debates. I've been calling for more debates to give the American people the opportunity to hear from these presidential candidates, to listen to what they've got to say, to hold them accountable for their views and their positions. Because that differentiated from the decision that the chairwoman made from the DNC, I was told that I was no longer welcome to come to the debate.
So Debbie Wasserman-Schultz, the chair of the DNC, what you're saying is she ordered one of her aides to call up your staffer and say, you know what, don't come. Is that what happened?
There was a conversation between her chief and my chief. Debbie's chief had called mine and basically spoke about an interview that I had talking about the need and the call that the American people are having for more debates, for democracy, for increasing the engagement that we need in our society as we look to see who will lead our country into the future. The prevailing message of that was because I continued to call for more debates that I should not go to the debate there in Las Vegas. But really, Wolf, that's really the issue here. The issue here is not about me saying, boo-hoo, I'm going to miss the party. The issue here is one of democracy, of freedom of speech, and defending that which so many have sacrificed and given their lives for.
Have you called Debbie Wasserman-Schultz? She's a congresswoman. She's the chair of the DNC.
You know, I reached out to her after I got that message and didn't really get much of a response from her directly. She said she'd talk about it in person, but the message that her chief delivered to mine stood. The thing that I'd really like to focus on, though, is not one of personalities. It really is one of the issue at stake here, which is about democracy. It's about how our Democratic Party should actually represent democratic values. Wolf, I just came from this Punch Bowl National Cemetery of the Pacific, where I had the privilege of honor of being promoted from captain to the rank of major by the Hawaii Army National Guard, and being there in that place, being reminded of the sacrifice that so many have made, some people who I have known and so many who came before us, fighting for freedom, fighting for democracy. This is why I feel so strongly about this, that each of us, no matter if you've served in the military or not, should be standing up and speaking up for what is right and for the strength of our democracy.
The DNC put out a statement, spokeswoman Holly Shulman saying, among other things, saying all that was asked of Ms. Gabbard's staff was to prioritize our candidates and this important opportunity they have to introduce themselves to the American people. It went on basically suggesting that you should just keep on the positive and not talk about what you may disagree with the party chair on, and you were also quoted as saying, when I signed up to be vice chair of the DNC, no one told me I would be relinquishing my freedom of speech and checking it at the door. Those are strong words on your part.
Those comments were not the comments that I got from my chief of staff from that conversation, but I can think of nothing more positive to talk about than the strength of our democracy, the strength of the freedoms that we cherish and we celebrate here in our country, and calling for more opportunities for the American people to be able to hear from those who are offering to lead our country into the future. We've got some very important, huge challenges that are facing our country today that are taking us into the future: domestic issues, national security issues, issues relating to foreign policy. And the American people deserve more opportunities to be able to hear from those who are asking them to hire them to be president, to be commander-in-chief.
Could you see yourself being chair of the DNC?
That's not a job that I'm interested in, and that's not what this is about. This is about making sure that our party and making sure that our country represents the democratic ideals that I feel so strongly about and that so many have served to fight and defend.
Bernie Sanders' campaign manager said on CNN earlier today, they have a ticket, they have a seat for you if you still want to fly over here to Las Vegas for tomorrow night's debate. Would you like to take them up on it?
Yeah, you know, I'm grateful to Senator Sanders for offering to give me a ticket to the debate. I politely declined to accept it because I think if I were to do that, then this would turn into a political conversation rather than a conversation about our principles, our democratic principles, our ideals as a country, and really what I think is most important for us to be focused on.
Why is the party leadership, the DNC, so fearful of having more debates? They've only scheduled 6 so far. Why are they so scared of that?
You know, I can't speak for anybody else, Wolf, but I think that the more we have these debates, the more opportunity that we have to increase the conversation, to really forward the goals of the Democratic Party, to increase Democratic engagement, to allow for this discourse between our presidential candidates and the American people, so that we've got a very clear path and a clear idea of exactly who is offering to serve as president, what they represent, the kind of judgment that they'll have on these important issues that we have going forward, and frankly, whether or not the American people will trust that person to be able to lead us into the future.